Obsidian is not touching it. I think that most studios will use AI to some extent going forward. It's just a no-brainer. When you look at what's happened in the industry with the inflation of development costs, they're finding ways to reduce those development costs. AI is going to be one way that they do end up doing that. Game Awards, December 11th. This is this year's event. We have the nominations here for all of the awards. I'm not going to go through them all because there is a significant amount of awards, as they always do have at the Game Awards. But we got all the nominations. Here are the Game of the Year nominations. And I think this list is pretty good. Like, it's pretty spot on. You have Claire Obscure Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Hades 2, Hollow Knight Silksong, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. That is the Game of the Year nominations. Claire Obscure Expedition 33, I think, has 12 nominations that are basically sweeping this year's awards. They should win, I would say, pretty much every category that they are in. The game was that good. I think it'll win Game of the Year hands down. Donkey Kong Bonanza may give it a run for its money because Nintendo always find a way to get in there. And also, it's a phenomenal game. But Claire Obscure Expedition 33 is more than likely going to win that award. In terms of the overall nominations, Claire Obscure had 12, PlayStation had 8, and I think Xbox had 6 across the different categories. So that's where that is. Valve was nominated for RPG, so was The Outer Worlds 2 for Best RPG of the Year. So they did very good in the Xbox division, really does good, which is RPGs and first-person shooter stuff. They have so many of those. So I think that's a pretty successful year for them. But it should be a good show. I was going through all of the nominations. Nothing here stands out as crazy or wrong or shouldn't be there. So I think this year's show will be interesting. And for me, I say this, and of course I do appreciate all of the work that the devs put into their games, but I really, if I'm being honest, watch the Game Awards for the announcements. What big game is going to be announced at this year's show that will shock everybody? Could we actually see Half-Life 3 at this year's Game Awards, as that has been in the rumor now for a while that it is going to be announced in the next couple of weeks? In the next few weeks or so is the Game Awards, where December 11th does end up coming through. And finally, Helldivers 2, we know it landing on Xbox, even just from the recent financials from PlayStation, had a great effect on this game. The crossover with Halo did a lot of good work as well. So you would expect that they're going to continue to try to get this game to more platforms. And Sony is okay with this. They're going to okay it all. If they let it on Xbox, they're going to let it in more places. Well, Helldivers 2 CEO comments on a Switch 2 port. I think this game would be perfect on the Switch 2. Handheld mode and everything. It should happen, in my opinion. But this is comments here coming through the latest episode of the Game Business Show with Christopher Dring. He interviewed Shams Georgiani, the Arrowhead CEO, and spoke about a Switch 2 version for the game, which Georgiani responded stating, we'll see. That's, again, above my pay grade by a couple of tiers. And I think what he is insinuating here is, yeah, there's people above him at PlayStation and at Sony that would have to okay that. The only thing I would say is that we always look at PlayStation versus Xbox, but in Japan, it's PlayStation versus Nintendo, which you could argue is almost a more important market for them to want to dominate. So if they can keep their competitive advantage in any way by not putting a game on the Nintendo Switch 2, a console that is not going to ever put any Nintendo games on a PlayStation, then they may not do it. So we'll see. But I think Helldivers 2 should end up going there. It's just better for the devs, and it would be a great game on the handheld, and I'd probably check it out on the Switch 2 as well. But I'm going to end the video there. If you did enjoy this video, hit that thumbs up. If you are new here, hit that subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.